That's right, people. Don't Google that when the kids are around. Not safe. Welcome, everyone, to Wobbly Player Syndrome, a Warhammer 40k podcast spoken to you by some idiot Aussies. G'day. Trace. When I say idiots, I don't mean me, clearly. It is as well as just described. Thank you very much. What was that noise? It's coming from nowhere. It is episode 38. We worked it out, counted on all fingers. Lucky there was 5 of us. But here we are. And we are talking about... Michael, you can say the title of this one.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, he does. Speaking of, who's here? It's Michael.
Hi!
It's Mark.
Hello.
It's Adam's back.
Yeah. Hello.
Invite him to one bloody episode, and we
And
now
I keep
can't get
coming
rid of
back.
him. Speaking of getting rid of... Hang on. No. Anthony's here too.
Hi. Hi.
And of course, I'm Greg. Of course, I'm Greg. It says it in my underwear. Right. How are you guys going?
Yeah, good.
Good.
That's good. Good. Yeah, glad we talked. Right.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that episode, folks. I love when that playing game
Not
together.
next week.
Wonderful. I'm on leave, so I am just full of energy at the moment. Yeah! That's
leave
great.
too. Yay!
Yay!
Just tomorrow.
Well, I'm off to play some 40k tomorrow. Not against you.
And
so,
lucky.
Yeah. So we are 40k. Today's topic is we're talking about list building versus a good general with a bad list with a good general. No, the other way around. Making a fluffy list, tournament list, examining things. Does a list make the difference? Does things like that? Planning ahead. Does it matter? Because that first dice roll can go all sideways very quick, which I found out on the weekend. But we'll get back to that. So, first off, let's get our regular stuff out of the way. So, Michael, what's new?
Well, there is so much stuff this month. So
that
just
every month.
No, like this month there's heaps. Last month there wasn't much at all. So we talked about it last month, but it actually came out just after the last podcast. Codex Drakari, the cards, the dice, the Combat Patrol Drakari, Piety and Pain, the box set, Warzone Caradon, the Crusade Mission Pack, Plague Purge, and there was the Blood Bowl Halfling stuff came out as well. Also, Pariah Nexus with those delicious heavy intercessors came out. I don't know if anyone else has bought that. I definitely bought that. No. There was so much Age of Sigmar stuff came out. Like,
Skip.
I'm not sure what Broken Realms is. It seems to be an Age of Sigmar thing, but there was a lot of Broken Realms stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It feels like they're shaking up the lore again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was getting lots and lots of emails, and I just kind of tuned everything out because it didn't ever seem to be 40k. So
yeah. There's Broken Realms Tech List, the Battle Tome Lumineth, the War Scroll for the Lumineth, the Invidian Plague Host Battalion, the Zintil War Magi Battalion, Mort Bell's Hellcourt, Centauri, Severith, Venari, Shrine Luminor, more Broken Realms, more Lumineth, more Lumineth.
Age of Sigmar got some sunshine.
Came out. They brought out a new Titan, the Warmaster Titan, which is bigger than a Warlord. A lot bigger than a Warlord, but it's only teeny-weeny Titan because it's for Adeptus Titanicus.
Yes.
And then there was a pile more Blood Bowl stuff came out. They released the teams from the new boxed set as individual boxes, which is actually really tempting for me because I wanted to get that Nobles team. They were really cool. And then we got Warhammer Quest Cursed City.
Yes.
Which
did we
is really
pre-ordered?
Cool. Mine's already showed up.
Dang. I thought it was only pre-order.
No, it was out.
They got delivered came out yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday? Saturday. Today's not Sunday, Michael. And then there was the Cursed City book, which mine hasn't showed up yet.
Fair enough. So, a fair amount of stuff.
So much. Most of it's Age of Sigmar, though. Like, I was writing down everything that came out, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of Age of Sigmar stuff.
Yeah, and you should have just said Age of Sigmar stuff. Move on.
Well, sometimes you want me to move on, and sometimes I list everything. So
yes, Drakari, they came out. That was cool.
Yes.
If everyone's listened to us, it was 38 episodes, chances to do that. My Drakari, I didn't really fall in love with them during the slow grow. I went, I'll grab the book, see how I play and stuff like that. Reading through the rules. I have a full witch army, so no homunculus or the other guys. Cabal.
You can fix that though.
And so I was intrigued and stuff, and Adam was kind enough to give me a game with my new Drakari, and I went, I think I'm going to love these guys. So that was a lot of fun, but we'll talk about the battle report. So that was exciting. Yes.
But yeah, the Pariah Nexus is cool. Like with those heavy intercessors in that. The heavy intercessors in the Pariah Nexus box are not one-piece models. Like, they're not push fits.
Okay.
They're the actual box of intercessors. Like, you can give them the different loadouts and stuff like that.
Is this a kill team box or something? Or I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with it.
Pariah Nexus is a new kill team thing, but it's also currently the only way you can get heavy intercessors. They released them kind of early in that box.
Very good. Okay. Cool. Fair enough.
But yeah.
And with those, I know that there's a game on Steve who's hanging out for the heavy intercessors. He wanted to use them against me in the battle report. Great segue.
Ooh, I saw what you did there.
Oh, clever stuff. So, I've had a couple of games in the last month. Anyone else had a few games?
I've had two.
No, zip.
No games this month. 2 last month, but none this month.
Oh. Was it prior? Oh, yeah, that was your weather affected.
Yes.
Yes. Should have rolled better. I might as well start. I had 2 games. I did get to play against Adam, and I got to use my Drakari under the new codex, and it was fun. I was terrified of his force because how many keepers of secrets you put on the table against me?
I rolled
had
2.
2 plus the Bloodthirster.
Yes.
Only 2?
Yeah,
and
but I had a
Bloodthirster.
So I found the Drakari. I knew fighting them in hand-to-hand was not going to be a smart move because they always strike first. I already knew that, Anthony.
I didn't. I learned the hard way.
So I try, and when I load out my Drakari against any other army, it's 2,000 points. When I loaded out against Adam's demons, I went, I don't need blast weapons. I don't need AP weapons. I don't need this. 1,500 points. Shit, I don't have enough models to make 2K. So it was very interesting. So I relied on shooting for the witches, and it worked. Yeah. You want to tell the rest of the story, Adam? Because I just realised it's your story.
I cried like a little girl.
So I take it went well.
Well, it came down to there was like 3 demonettes left on the table, a keeper of secrets at full health, and my set of rage, my bloodletter, with I think half life left. And it was like at end of turn 4, and it was like 1 turn left, and I went, I can't win this.
You didn't have a lot left on the table.
I didn't have enough. It was just the shooting, the pure. They just shot.
For
Hang on, that
Drakari
sounds
witches. Right? But I was rolling so many dice, went, oh my god, these dice. And I do got to say, the Drakari dice, so nice. They are brilliant.
I have to say the Sonesh dice are as well.
Yeah.
They weren't friendly last week.
Yeah. The Salamander dice I got, they felt cheap. I don't like them. They're hard to read. The Drakari one, easy to reel, feel like real dice, and rolled well too. So yes, I did get a win. It wasn't a smashing though. It was only 7 points in it, 45 to 38. So it was a good battle. I thought, wow, I think I'm going to enjoy the Drakari. And if everyone's been watching this channel previously, and you'd be seeing that I've been trying to pump out the witches a lot to get them sorted out. Adam, you played against Anthony too.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Shooting hurts. And the null, what is it? The something
Null
field,
zone. Yeah.
null zone field. Just it took my shellax, my named keeper of secrets, and Anto was just like, ha, and that's invul. And I went, yeah, can't save that. But it's only -2 AP. Yeah, can't save that. He went from full life down to 0 in 1 turn.
They gave
Like-
old Shellaxia shellacking.
That's what I thought. I thought you were swearing at first. Yeah.
I'm glad
Blake-
to see
Blake
that Null
Hart-
Zone came off because
Yeah,
I've been
it-
trying for that for years.
It's a really good power, actually. It worked really well. But
Oh.
in reprisal, it's like, well, I get one hit, I'm going to hit your captain, and I'm going to pulp him. But he did. Even though the captain went first, I actually had strike first on the captain of his warlord trait. And so I was like, oh, I get to hit you first, and he whiffed twice. Absolutely terrible.
Anto kind of like stopped. Yeah, he's dead. No, but I've still got 3 more to count.
But yeah, he was splattered. But yeah, we had a good game. It was good fun.
That was enjoyable.
4 Keeper of Secrets. It was horrific. First turn, straight across the field, 1 into my Gladiator, 1 into my Librarian Dreadnought, 1 into my Redemptor Dreadnought, and they weren't there in turn 2. They were gone. Completely and utterly destroyed.
And your bikes were all gone as well.
The bikes, yeah, look, I put them out front as a shield. I just knew that they were going to try and just slow you down a bit, get that null zone off, secure that table edge away, as far away as I could from you 3 Keeper of Secrets. Yeah, look, I was shooting my first round. I got first turn, thankfully. I got rid of all the demonettes, pretty much in 1 round of shooting. That went really well. And then just held on to those 3 objectives as much as I could to get the maximum
And
points.
yeah, you held the objectives. I couldn't get them off.
Yeah, once you
yeah.
got 2 screens, it was over. But yeah, it was a good game as opposed to my other game, which I don't want to talk about.
How'd you go the other game, Anthony?
Against Harlequins, I was very excited. I had my shiny new Impulsor. I had a few other things on the table I'd never played before. Against Chris's Harlequins, and the Harlequins shot up the field and haywired my Impulsor to death with 17 mortal wounds and 1 round of shooting. And
Far out.
it was gone, and then he had another squad, which did the same to my Redemptor Dreadnought. Would left me, and I had a large amount of troops in my Impulsor, like a full 6, and I rolled 3 ones, so they died.
And
And
folks
then,
who are watching, his
oh,
camera's not mucking up. He's just that sad and doesn't want to
It's
talk about
actually-
it.
He is. It was a horrific game. It was and I just got pinned in this corner and I couldn't move. And he's like, "Oh, they suck in hand to hand." It's like, yeah, they really don't. And so yeah, I was just.
Did they change how Harlequins work?
No,
Weren't
they
they
haven't
always? Didn't they used to be good in hand to hand and not have a whole lot of shooting?
Well,
The
haywire
haywires are
the
deadly.
bikes are insane. So if it's 3+ to wound or 4+ to wound or something like that against a vehicle, but
The 4+
that
is
causes
a mortal
1
wound.
mortal wound, but every roll of a 6 is D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
I haven't
he
played Harlequins in
He
a very
raised
long
Oh,
time.
rolled.
The Scourges
Really
for Jurkari have that weapon as
Yeah.
well. So, yeah.
They're insane. I mean, it's like, oh, they're not very good against troops, but yeah, they are. they're good enough. So yeah, I just lost any ability I had to move across the table, and I was just stuck over the side with a couple of troops. And my captain took revenge, just pulling apart troops, limbs, and hitting them with their own limbs and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a fairly one-sided game.
Okay.
For some reason, it didn't actually go up in the matches. It's in the core ladder, but it's not up as a match. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Speaking of losses, I also played another game of the weekend. And it's convenient that Game on Steve decided to jump on this Twitch channel to watch me reminisce about our battle, where I lost all 3 Poxwalker units and a Plague Crawler in the first turn.
Ooh.
And he had Phobos armors, so they were on 3 objective points before the start of the first turn. I was going, holy crap! And then he decided to shoot at me. I went, holy crap! That was just a lot of firepower. It was. I was struggling to see where anything was going to get anything out of it. I charged it. I used a list that's based on a net list, but without Mort, which we'll get later on. So it was different, and I forgot a lot of things. I made 2 huge blunders, which didn't help. It was bloody. It was absolutely bloody. I did start getting some points towards the end, but his lead was just so big from the get-go. There was no way I could catch up. So we ended turn 4 because I just can't get any points. 41 to 61 is what it finished on. My Blightlord Terminators, they are pretty hardcore though. When they finally got into combat, they did kill pretty much what they hit, and they lasted all 4 turns. But yeah, some tactical errors are made, just a sheer firepower, and those new speeders. I didn't like
the storm speeders.
Yeah, 3 of them. Redemptor Dreadnoughts, the Baby Cage Dreadnought. That I'm still not comfortable with that. Can infiltrate? I said it's fucking this big. You can't sneak. Yeah, and I think I have never played Iron Fist before. So
Iron Hands.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to call them Iron Fist because that's how it felt. Iron Hands before. I didn't mind the 6+ Feel No Pain fleshes for the week on infantry, but I thought it was a bit much that was on vehicles too. I said, but there is no flesh!
That's why it's not weak!
So I was playing against an army that had Disgusted and Resilience, but I didn't. With my Death Guard. I went, come on! So...
the shoe on the other foot.
It was painful, but it was a good game. It was a good game. I did enjoy it in the end, I've learned from it. I would learn from it. And because of the battles that were played, there is... Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the battle report footage on so people can actually see. That's the game. That's my force that I took. So you can actually see that now. You can see a lot of box walk. As I said, it is based... And that's what I fought against. The Iron Fisting. That's them. But that's not what they're called. Sorry.
So are they Silver Templars?
No, this is Game on Steve's. I think they originally were Desert Lions when they're in 8th edition, so it was his own chapter, and there was a bit of a suit with Admech. But now that's changed.
They've got the same color scheme as one of the official Primaris chapters. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. You'd have to take that with Game On. So that is going on in the background. You can watch my... It hurt. But that's fine. That's fine. Pass me the fucking wine. Sorry.
You sound like you've got plenty there, man.
I'm okay.
What is it? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional? Fine.
Yeah, right. I like it. It's good. Alright, so it did change the ladder a bit. There's the results for the last month, which is exciting. And there it is, boom! I still hold top spot, but that gap's got closer. Anthony's moved it. He was already in second. But Steve's the big mover, pushing Chris down a spot. Does that make you feel better, Anthony?
Yeah. That's good.
Good.
Yep.
And the surprise packet, of course, is Adam's in the top 5.
Yay.
I know. I won one.
You're definitely not getting that wooden spoon now.
Well,
he's challenging
if
people
the
to get the wooden spoon.
I'm challenging people to play.
Yeah, he doesn't say, "Hey, you want to go with 40k?" He goes, "Hey, want me to lose?
Yeah.
You want to get a win?"
I want that spoon. I will.
Well, that's some commitment right there.
I will challenge you to that spoon.
So, Gowan said, just in response to this colour scheme, the official colour, he'd already painted them when the official colours came out. He's pasted on a ceremonial khaki of the Aussie Army. That's what it's based on.
Cool.
There you go.
I'll have to have a look at some of the closer pictures. I've only seen the long out ones, and they looked like they were just silver with yellow shoulder pads. That's why I thought they were
they're not silver at all.
the Templars. Oh, okay.
As I thought. No, that's not it. So the big moves, Steve moving up to 3rd, Adam still holding top 5. We don't know. We don't know why. We don't know how. But there it is. So, let's go to hobby progress, because I know I've been doing a lot on the Tuesday, Thursdays as normal, but let's not talk about me. Let's Michael talk about me.
I'm talking about you.
Any hobby progress, Michael?
Sorry, you dropped out there.
Hobby progress, Michael?
Oh, hobby progress. I've been painting Dark Angels for the first time in ages and ages. Which has been kind of nice. Like, I haven't I think I realized I haven't like finished painting a Dark Angel in like 3-4 years or something stupid.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing the slow grow and Necromunda and failing to finish any particular project before that. So yeah, been painting the Blade Guard and got one done and got a color scheme in hand and going to start trying to bulk paint the buggers now.
Dip and drip. Speaking of dip and drip, hey Mark, anything?
Yeah, nothing.
Good.
Nothing. I'd like to be dipping them, but I can't find a pot big enough.
Bunnings, mate. Just go down to Bunnings.
Can't effects won't fit.
Not trying hard enough. Use a hammer. Adam?
Well, last week it was a very busy week for me. I did 2 keepers in a 7-hour paint session, I think on Thursday, I think it was.
Yep.
One was hand painted. The other one I went, bugger this, airbrush. Hey, wow, look, done. I'm also halfway through building my battle chicken. And obviously pink horrors and stuff like that for the demons. It's the last division of demons I have, but I think my focus may change next Saturday or this Saturday.
Bellic will come out on Saturday, does he?
Pre-order.
Pre-order. So we've got at least 2 more weeks worth of focus on Battle Chicken.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he becomes obsolete.
No, he still will go on the table.
Very good. Anthony.
So I finally finished off all the Start Collecting Blood Angels box, the Primaris one. So I finished off painting the Infiltrators, which my goal for this weekend's last game with Adam was to bring as many new things painted so I wouldn't lose my new model first turn. So I also bought my Impulsor,
I like the assumption you're going to win against Adam. That's great.
I also bought my Impulsor, which I considered still to be new because it didn't actually survive a game, like even move in the last game, so it was okay. And I bought along the Gladiator, Melter Gun, big one, nasty, whatever it's called. What's that one called? Valiant? Gladiator yeah. Valiant. It's amazing. It took out your Defiler Walker thing in one round of shooting pretty well. I was pretty happy with that. And if it just didn't have a Keeper of Secrets to deal with, it would have done fine.
But it does turn into a nice chew toy in Malay.
Yeah, it sure did. But so I've been painting vehicles. I'm really into vehicles again at the moment. So I'm moving on to that. And I can happily say, or kind of sadly say, I have absolutely nothing in my pile of shame to paint or build or anything.
You're not a real hobbyist.
There is nothing there, and I'm kind of go out to my shed and I sit there and go, I've got nothing to do until next payday. So, yes, I'm going shopping on Thursday.
I've got a few things. Do you like painting green?
Sure, okay. Well, Chris keeps on asking me to paint his Harlequins. I can't do diamonds.
Well, you just accidentally break one. Oh, you can't use it next battle, mate. Sorry.
I thought I was using like the spray gun, but it was a flame gun.
It was a nail gun. It was a beautiful.
But yeah, I've been modelling most evenings, painting stuff, and yeah, as of when I finish the Infiltrators, I've got nothing left to do. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
Some of my nids.
If I can do nids,
I'm exactly the same. I've got nothing to paint as well.
How many thousand points of salamanders?
Over 3,000 points of salamanders to paint. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I should never have put them into Battle Scribe. But I have been painting, and I've been jumping around in projects. So I've been doing Drakari, Salamanders, Deathguard. So I've never really actually finished anything. But this week I did! I finished 2 models! Lord Filthiest got done. And I'm actually really happy how he turned out in the end. I just think he's a pretty cool character, pretty cool model. For a push fit, he's pretty cool. I remember originally buying him, I was going to cut him to pieces and make him a Typhus. And then I didn't. Yeah, and I finally finished the Predator that's been sitting there just waiting for the final touches on it. So it got its final touches and it was good. I did originally plan to put it on the table against Game on Steve, but it didn't make it.
It's always nice when those final touches make it good.
Yeah, gets that happy ending. So I wanted to try and get Mort painted so I could bring Mort to the weekend, but there was no way I could have that time to do it, unfortunately. So it's still a fair bit to do, and still getting through the witches as well, but most of it's all just up to that little bit of touches here and there inappropriately with fun. Yeah, so there's the hobby progress. What do we do now? I think we went out of order. Do we usually do hobby and then battle report?
Yeah, normally we do.
Ah, let's mix it up!
It's a professional show.
Mix it up, everybody! Keys in the bowl!
Oh, I got my keys.
Yeah, that's okay. Excuse me.
This is like Friday night all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. All right, so now we go to our quick 30-second ad, so where we can relax, refresh, do yoga, and come back and talk about the main topic, which is...
I love it when a plan comes together.
Just like that. Smooth as fucking concrete, really?
Smooth as jazz?
Yeah. And we'll be right back.
We are Rollers, and we have the games for you. Be it board games, card games, dice games, or party games. You name it, and we have it. Find us online at rollersboardgames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at rollersboardgames.
From acoustic to distortion, Storyboard Concept is music that's honest, relaxing, and full-ball rockin' music. Follow Colin at storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com.
Gonna have 3 once I build these 2 new ones.
They're pretty vicious.
They're pretty rough, although I'm going to be building one of each.
No. Welcome back, people. Love how we just cut back in the mid-sentence, mid-conversation, and we like to play the game.
Stopped.
What do you think we were talking about, folks? Which one's not meant to be here? Sorry. All right, so we're going into our main topic of the month, and we are looking at... Michael, you better explain it, because I'm sick of talking.
Well, the idea is, how much of a plan do you want to have? Is it a problem if you've planned too detailed for your game, or do you prefer to have like an idea or no plan?
Yes.
What is the perfect amount of plan?
Yes. And then you can stand on that with, if I had a tournament-winning list, but I'm an average general.
Yeah. If you have a great list, but you don't know what to do with that list, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. But if you're a great general and you've got an average list, can you pull it out of you?
Yeah.
So, Michael, go away. Go away. Go ahead. Slip of the tongue. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it's like that. Like sometimes you'll see people talking about building a list, and they'll like plan out exactly what every unit's going to do in a game that they haven't seen yet. And you're like, well, that's heavily contingent upon what your opponent's going to do.
Yeah.
Like, there are some plans you can make for a unit where it doesn't matter who you're playing, you're going to do that. But, like, as you had happen when you were like, I'm the Drakari, I guess I'm shooting this game.
Yes.
That's your plan fucking gone out the window. If you've got an all-comers list and you've showed up with, like, well, this is what I will do with my list. Oh, they're better at close combat with me. Better come up with a whole new plan off the cuff.
Yeah.
I've experienced the whole new plan off the cuff on the weekend, actually. I must admit, against the Keeper of Secrets. Blood Angel player, I kind of like getting into close combat and having a bit of a battle, but yeah, after they charged me across the table, I was moving away and shooting as much as I could, to tell you the truth. So, you've got to change your plans on the fly, but Blood Angel shooting was okay.
Well, you know what they say. Plans are useless, but planning is essential.
Yes.
So for me, obviously against Anto on the weekend, I usually have only run with 2 keepers, and I went, no, I'm going to get 3. I'm going to 3 or 4, and I'm going to see how that rolls.
It just doesn't like it that much, Anthony.
No, he
And-
didn't. No.
And
He wanted to win. I was actually he's damaging his wooden spoon prospects here. He really was.
No. Like, and I'm being serious. I actually jumped on the web and I went, Sonesh, tournament lists, and they had 4 Keeper of Secrets. The Demonettes exactly the same. Frollo has the Seekers, but they had Fiends. And I went, well, I don't have Fiends, but I'll just take a little bit of it. But I played it my style, but I was too separated. My plan was to, obviously everyone wants to win first turn,
Yeah.
and especially if you don't have shooting, first turn is you want to win first turn. That didn't work, so out the door. But then it got up to turn 4, and your army was at one end of the table, and I was at the other end of the table, and I've gone, I can't get there.
Yeah.
And as I said to you at the end, I went, I reckon if there was another turn, it would have been a completely separate, a completely different story. 2 keepers, a chariot, just going to your couple of, because you didn't have many units left. You had your Blade Guard Ancients, and your Chaplain, really, I think it was.
Librarian.
And your Librarian, really. That was the only group.
1 Intercessor squad and 1 Infiltrator, half an Infiltrator squad.
So, that turn would have changed the story so much more, but I left it well too late. My plan was to win first, get in your face, take as much out as I can, and then just mop up whatever was left. But was my list, good? I could see how it was, but it was just the plan. I just didn't replay the plan I didn't advance and see what was happening down the track, because next thing I look up and I went turn 5. No. There's another turn to go. No, turn 5. Yeah, I can't win.
Fast 2,000-point game as well.
It was.
We were done and dusted in about 3 hours. It was like, well, that's it. Let's go. I've got the rest of the day to deal with now. What are we going to do?
You just kind of found yourself reacting instead of doing what you'd intended to do.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Some of my favorite games have been where I had absolutely no plan or no idea what I was doing.
Like I
I have a plan until that first dice roll went,
Exactly. And my first plan was, I've got my Soul Grinder who'll sit at the back and just start plugging away his big heavies. Where did my Soul Grinder go? I'm just going to charge.
Now, I've got to admit, the game, and I knew it was because we had this episode on Monday, the list I put together against Steve, it wouldn't have been it wasn't because it was against Steve, it's just, Necron Warriors, a follower of mine on Twitch, and they've just recently won a tournament with Death Guard. He shared me his list, and I went, sweet, let me build this. I want to build this list and see if it actually, you've got a winning list proven, see if I can know what to do with it and go against it. It's probably the list I've examined the most I've ever done out of a list to try and get, all right, where's all the little tricks? What's going on here? Oh, the Teleman's got this. Oh, okay, I've got to do this, got this. So the most prepared I've ever been for a list. First turn, every unit I had was going to take the objective markers were dead. They were dead. I lost 1 out of the 2 heavy weapons I had in the first turn. I go, right, well, that's stuffed everything now, hasn't it? Strength. I had a big giant, I knew I was going to walk up the middle of the field, protected by all this, and this big piece of scenery right in the middle of it. Crap, I have to go around it. I can't walk straight, so therefore I'd lost another turn. I went, oh my God! It was, just because it's a winning list, it doesn't mean you're going to win. Just a caveat, people who are watching, we're not tournament players. Some of us have had experience. We do play competitive against ourselves and stuff like that, but we're not. Well, that sort of leads into that. Those lists that go into the percentages. There's percent chance. If I take this, it'll increase my percentage by 3% to get that wound on that sort of person and stuff.
I don't know. Sometimes there is something to the whole playing the percentages thing. I've had it where I've rejigged units because most of the time I just sort of throw stuff together and go, oh yeah, this seems like it'd go okay against blah faction.
Yeah.
But yeah, there has been times when I've been, okay, I might take these weapon choices or this many of a particular type of unit, and that has greatly improved the performance of that unit for the points. So...
Yeah, I get that too, because as I said, it's the most list I've put together that's based on those percentages. You know, I take this, I need to take this relic because it boosts this. But if you don't know the list, it's been handed to you. Essentially, that's what this list was. It's handed to me. If I don't know it, the amount of things I forgot to do because I just didn't know it.
Because you lose those synergies and things, because it's yes, I have these units, but I need to use these abilities at this time in conjunction with these stratagems and all of that
sure
sort of
you got the right
stuff.
command points so you can play those stratagems and not spend half an hour going, oh crap, I can't remember that stratagem's name. Sorry, Steve.
Well, what's the quote? A bad plan executed well now is better than a good plan executed later.
Pretty much, yes.
So, if you don't know, the details of it, it doesn't matter if you've been given someone else's net list. You see it all the time with new players with net lists, where they don't actually understand the list. And they're like, well, this is the best list. How am I losing? It's like, you're losing because you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, those people who have those tournament lists that win all the time, they game test a lot to find those balances, to find those tricks, to find out, and the scenarios that come at them. So if something hits them this way, right, how do I recover from that? That's my preferred play is, all right, I have an idea what I want to do, but I do fairly reactive player when it comes to it. I go, all right, you're doing that. All right, how am I going to counter that? As opposed to, no, this is my plan and you will follow it to the letter.
Yeah, I like, just as what Anto did. New list, I've never played with this unit before. I'm going to play with it.
Yeah.
And I'm an orc player, so it's like, I don't care. I'm just going to play as stupid as I'm here for fun. While that list, as I found that list, but I've been building this list that I've had for a while, and it's slowly building up. So I know the way they do. It just didn't click. None of my saving throws. The dice were not against were my friends on Sunday.
And my first round of shooting was really good. I mean,
exactly. So
I had lots of 5s and 6s to wound every turn.
Five up in Von.
Most of like
they're all 4s or 2s. It's just like none of my dice saving throws work. So I was already on the back foot.
Well, that's...
But my plan, I stuck with my plan that I had. But it's just my saving as the dice weren't in agreement.
That's the kicker, isn't it? It's still a dice game. So you could have the best plan and you are the best general. But if you roll like Isabel, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, you're not going to go anywhere. Well, you'll never fail morale, but you won't go anywhere.
Well, see, the other thing, though, is that sometimes it's worth having a tactic or a move that you like and building your list around that. And I've found that's worked for me because there is that large chunk of people who just react to what you're doing. Yeah. So I've had instances like I played a Land Raider against Dave way back in the day. Yeah. And the Land Raider in 7th Ed was not really useful at all. However, as a distraction, it is a fantastic thing. At 250 points, it nowhere near held up its weight, but it tanked shots like nobody's business, and the rest of my army just wiped him off the table, basically.
That fucking Hive Tyrant in the Swarm game.
Exactly. And you'll have these units that... And this is part of the list building process, is that you sit there and you go, okay, so what's going to be my distraction, or what's going to... I want this unit to do a specific thing on the board. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to use it, but I'm gonna do that. You know, and sometimes having that sort of front-footedness can really swing a battle.
Yeah, like when I'm going really hard, I have a tendency to be like, these are the things that these parts of my army can do, if I see a position to do that, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Agree.
And these are the things that I can respond to. If I see them doing it, I know who's going to respond to it. Rather than having like a detailed, this is how they all interact. I tend to have like, almost like, stratagems that I can throw out. Yeah. Like, this is how I respond to these things if they happen. Well, little mini plans that I can throw in if I need to.
I think that's the best way, isn't it? You have micro plans. Right? I know I want this. As you said, this is my distraction unit. This is my unit that hopefully I can get around to the side. It's going to just kill them because they're too distracted by this unit.
This is my shock and awe, deep strike thing that just obliterates some unit off to the side.
But here's the kicker, though, as well. The Ninth Edition is not about killing everything. It is board control. You have to get that board control.
Yeah, but see the other element there, though, is rattling the other player.
Oh, yeah.
And pushing them out of their plan as well.
Yeah, Chris and using me terribly.
That first
using your to build you up.
I got to apologise to Steve because I think after that first time I was just so deflated and I was like, I just don't know. So I hope you still enjoyed the game, Steve. I realised I was very deflated and not great. I went, I want to find a hole.
But and that's a good point. Like, even with board control, if you have that big scary distraction card effects, you can pull them out of their board control so that you can work around them.
Yeah,
using that big distraction.
Yeah, because I've had it where I've dropped a Gantt bomb on someone and blown up a unit that was central to their plan, and then basically everything else just fell to pieces, even though, like, in the scheme of things, I didn't really damage their army that badly. It's just that the shock of having, 20 models go off the table in one hit just completely knocked them out of that train that they were on.
And they were so deeply entrenched in, this is what my army is built around, this is the one thing my army does, and it's the one thing that's gone. What do I do?
Yeah. Well,
it's like if you killed Johnny Wilkinson in that English rugby team.
Yeah.
Turn back time. Sorry, we wouldn't do that in public. So, yeah, absolutely. And so I thought, okay, I could have had Mort in there, which is a big change. But I don't know. I think he's more that distraction thing. Everyone's going to tell me, no, Mort's a killer. But if I put him on the table, I'm guaranteed where Steve will be shooting at those and not worrying about the Terminators. He's going to run up behind him and stick it where it's uncomfortable, like the back of the Volkswagen.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw Mort on the table, I'd want to fucking destroy him.
Yeah.
Like, there was this great. That reminds me of this great moment from one of the worldwide campaigns. That was all about trolling Dark Angel players. It was a couple of editions ago. There was this one campaign where, it was a worldwide one where you go, oh yeah, I played my games in this battle zone, and they tallied up all the battle zones. Yeah. And then in one of the zones, there was this one little planet that was completely irrelevant to what was going on in the rest of the system. And GW went, on one day, they were like, there's been rumors that Cypher is on this planet. And then you look at the stats, and every Dark Angel player in the world went, we're going there! And they all just pulled out of all of the other combat zones, and all the Dark Angels went to this one little point that was strategically worthless.
And cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're not that dirty about Johnny. May he rot in hell.
Oh, I'm still dirty about Johnny.
Funny. We're talking to a bunch of hobbyists and stuff, so half of our audience go, sport? What? Is he in that film? What? It's fine. So, Adam.
Yes?
You don't have a great win-loss ratio. You keep coming back. You keep experimenting. What drives you? What makes you lists and stuff like that? I realise you built a list from the net. And I'm sorry I'm bringing up your wooden spoons. But
no. Well, it's not built off the net. It is, well,
yeah.
It was partly, but it's not, it's just more of, yes, my lists, but I have fun playing.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think everyone that plays me kind of enjoys playing against me.
I do. It's not because I get more wins than losses. It's actually because it's fun. But when I play, it's the funny part. it's you're not a bad player. That's the thing. You know what you're doing. You know what your list does, and you hurt. So I don't know. I think, well, for me, I think you should have more wins on the board than you actually do. But
maybe I should just keep playing orcs and just lose totally and just charge the limit rusters over and over
Well,
and over.
I think it's probably partly, as you said, you forgot what the list did and you didn't play it the way the list was designed to be played. So it was kind of this is a new list that I'm not sure how to play problem, and that's just an experience thing. That's a using the list over and over thing.
And that's what I mean. Next time I play someone else, I will probably have more bloodletters. More another range of demons in there just to mix it up. But I'll still have the core.
And you may find that you're advancing more, and that you're not.
Oh, he's not subtle going forward with them. He's in your face very fucking quick.
Yeah, but he won't be at turn 4 and on opposite sides of the table too.
Yeah. You might not let your keepers of secrets get distracted chasing puppies into the corners.
But puppies are cute.
So delicious.
Puppies are delicious.
And they change in all kinds of wonderful ways.
I stupidly did, I put a keeper of secrets well over on the far end. I should have put him with Shalaxi, so there was 2 of them, a bit more of a chew toy. And I should put the one with the disc, with discussing resilience and all that on there. May have survived a bit longer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, will I play that list again? I'm going to play that list again. I like it. It was a fun list. Anto, I hope my list was fun to play.
Yeah,
again.
I had a ball. It was just full of shocks. But as you said before, I think if you'd put another 2 demons on each flank, or put all 4 in the middle somewhere, you would have steamrolled me.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you even not getting first turn at that stage, because I had to move forward to get into range with a lot of my weapons, which meant you could charge that first turn. I think if you got first turn, you wouldn't have been in range for the charge in the first turn. You would have been less sort of standing out in the open a bit, because I had to move forward 10 to get in range. So
his abilities against you there very quick.
Yeah, they're still very fast. I mean, insanely fast. But
that's what I mean. One of the keepers, I got up to 20 inches, but I only moved him 18 because and you'd already there, and I only needed like a 4 or 5 inch charge. So at the end of the day, I would have got straight across that battle line straight into you.
That's right. Yeah.
So sort of to the topic, what are people's sort of preferred way of planning? Are you a no plan person? Are you hey, I'll just roll the dice and see what goes on? Or are you a meticulous planner and you're micromanaging what each thing is going to do?
Great segue to one of the comments on the chat. Thank you, Mark. Cuts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mechanics and ninth is everything. They've recently learned to build a list around the way they play, their personal play style. Therefore, their army matches their play style and is not aggressive with a cagey net list.
Yeah.
Yes. I prefer to build a list the way I think I know how to play it. It's definitely a style for me, which is funny because I do have 4. Well, let's just say 3. 3 that I use. 3 armies. No, 4. Drakari are back. They're back. But yeah, it's definitely, they've got their own different game styles for each of them. Salamanders, Catachan, Death Guard, and Drakari. Drakari I took on because I want to change a different game style. Because, Gunline. I could do Gunline with both Salamanders and Imperial Guard. Disgust and resilience. Let's just walk up and punch someone in the face and hopefully don't get killed on the way.
and kind of gunline too.
No, they don't have. They're 24-inch only, really. But Jakari, completely different play style. Completely, it's fast, it's mobile. They've made of glass and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a lot of trouble working out how to play those. I still don't have a perfect idea, but how I build my list. Well, what models do I have on the shelf?
Yeah.
With my Salamanders, that's purely it. What models do I have on my shelf? And
a couple of times couple of times I've been told that I play my Dark Angels kind of wrong, because I should be a gunline army, but I'm not, because it's not how I play. I play more like a freaking Blood Angel or a Space Wolf player with Dark Angels.
Yeah, I'm finding there's a lot of difference between my original Blood Angels, the Firstborn, to the Primaris Blood Angels. So I've just built up recently about 3,500 points of Primaris, and that's what I've been playing in Blood Angels. But without those jump packs in my assault squads, and without the Def Company without assault squads, without jump packs, I'm struggling with the way they work, and they've had to become a little bit more shooty. I've rely on transports a lot more to get my close combat troops in. But I like the different. They're almost two different armies really now.
Yeah.
My Primaris a little bit more shooty than my assault side. But I kind of want to. I miss the assault side of the Blood Angels, because that's where their bonuses are, getting close. And I started playing the Primaris aggressively, and I've always said, get the Blood Angels in first turn, fast as you can, get into close combat.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with the Primaris. It doesn't. You just can't get enough things up the board quick enough, because you have to transport them to do it. We can mix armies together. I don't like mixing Firstborn and Primaris. There's scale issues that really upset me. So yeah, apart from, I did have a Firstborn librarian in my force the other day, a Dreadnought. But yeah, look, I think for me now is really learning the stratagems. So Blood Angels is the only new codex that's come out for all my forces. I've got Grey Knights, Custodes, Tyranids, and Astra Militarum, and Death Watch. They've come out, and they're for sale. I'm not going to play them.
Contact him, Matt.
So I've stuck with the new codex just because the new rules synergize well with the new codex. Just works well with the new rules. But yeah, it's learning again. But now I'm just sticking with one army. I know the stratagems, and I think that's a really cool thing to playing your force well, is knowing, oh, I can negate that by, or I can do this by, or I can shoot again, and spend those points. Really get in there and spend them, because you get one extra turn. You can farm them if you've got that stratagem.
And that's been one of the things I've loved about Ninth, is that it's not a by turn 2 I'm out of CP, basically.
Yeah,
you're not playing right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do like the regenerating CP. It makes it feel more like you can spread out the weird things you're going to do over the game instead of blowing your whole load turn 1.
I do like the regeneration as well, because I can have all my exalted degraded demons. I can give relics. I can get down to 3 command points right on turn 1, and I know possibly by the end of turn 2, turn 3, I'm going to be up a bit more, and I can start using my stratagems.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I rely on. I rely on my exalteds to survive. You know what I mean? And that's where I just, before the battle, I think, Anto, I had 3. Greg, last time I played, I think I won one. I had like 1 command point at turn 1.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's the most relics I've ever used, most upgrades I've used before a game. But I'm like, it's all right. They'll regenerate. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, for I think the last 2 or 3 turns, I'm from 1 to 2.
At least it's 2. I mean, you can do a lot of
correct. Cousins followed up with their aggressive players are 2 units of Vanco veterans that I can get in your face turn 1 is amazing. Don't know how that works. Yeah. And the melter bikes play a different role, but my tactics force my opponent to play a certain style. Yeah. That's it though, isn't it? It's trying to not adjust your plan, but adjust your opponent's plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so when you kill all my Poxwalkers and my tank, my plan changed very quickly.
And it's good to be reactive there, but you can't just only be reactive. Otherwise, I mean, there's plenty of players out there that are only reactive, and they know exactly the results they get.
Yeah. Go on.
I just look. I've changed my play style quite a lot with Ninth, with Blood Angels especially. I mean, really, I think the last 4 games I've played have been Blood Angels. So I've had I'm 3 wins, 2 losses on the table now, something like that. So yeah, I think the other one was Grey Knights against you, Greg. That was the only other one I've had. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to play it until new codexes come out for the others because I think the old codex is a little bit unbalanced with rerolls and stuff like that at the moment as well. There's a lot of chaff sitting in the old codexes, which really make a mess of the new codexes a little bit.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. Raven Guard, Master of the Ambush. There you go. That's where Cuss is from. You're right. I haven't played my Catachans for quite some time. Or something. It's not a new codex. It just feels off. And as egotistical as it sounds, if I want to win, I take my Imperial Guard.
I've only been them once.
Yeah, that's it. Because I know that army inside out. So I've had them since 3rd edition. Yes, there's been variations of them, but I know them inside out. Death Guard, I've had to relearn again because the new codex, that Disgust and Resilience, gone. Mm-hmm. Big change. Oh, I can't just walk up and take these bullets to my face and go, I love it. No, I go, oh, I've got half a face missing, but I still got the other half.
Like I'm playing in an 8th edition codex at the moment as well, against 9th edition codexes and all that. It's just, I should really pick one that has a 9th edition codex, but I enjoy playing my army.
Well, you're playing into the power creep if you do that.
But I enjoy playing what I've got.
Codex.
I'd rather enjoy playing than win.
Yes, and that's what I do.
Exactly,
I enjoy losing. I know this sounds bad. I enjoy winning as well, but I enjoy the game.
Yeah.
The game. Yeah.
It's entirely possible to win a game that you didn't enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, you sort of go, okay. Oh, that was very one-sided. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's like Nathan. He took Dog Bomb Army to CanCon, and he placed really, really well with it, and he beat almost everyone he played. But that tournament nearly put him off 40k.
Because it was just, this is not fun.
He was winning, but he hated every moment of it. He did not enjoy the army. He didn't like the way he was playing. And it nearly drove him out of playing.
Well, that's a very good point. If you're playing a tournament, if you're playing a tournament seriously, you're going to be going that army that will piss off more people than it won't.
And he did it, and he was like, I don't enjoy doing this to people.
Yeah, so tournament play and competitive play, which we play competitively. You know, we do play to win. We're not here. Well, most of us, Adam, play to
I do play to win. I just suck at winning.
You just said you enjoyed losing. It was weird.
But I do enjoy losing.
Yeah, but having a list for a tournament, you can fall into the trap that you've got a list that you hate, but you have to have it because that's the ugly list that's going to get you the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in our thing, I can play a list. I can turn around and go, I want that unit because I like that unit, not because it's the most efficient for the points and all of that sort of stuff. Because, you've seen it when we've run slow grow and some of those where it's like extra points for explosions and perils of the warp and things like... You know, it's all based on what cool stuff happened.
Yeah.
I always build my army to try and build it to what I want to play with the fluff of the army. You know, how would a Blood Angel really play? You know, stuff like that. And the last game, I just wanted to bring a whole heap of new stuff. So
exactly right. Yes.
It wasn't that balanced, I didn't think, because I didn't have a lot of range and stuff. But it worked.
Yeah, my last 2 games were mostly the Indomitus stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to chuck all my new shit on the table because I want to use it.
Absolutely. I remember, Salamanders. Build Salamanders as many flamers as possible. This is when flamers weren't that crash hot. But
and that in and of itself is a plan.
Yeah.
Salamanders have to take fire. Salamanders are good now. It's okay. I got 3,000 points. So I got to paint to prove it.
Lots of green.
So I feel like we're all pretty much on the page of a little bit of planning.
A little bit of planning can go a long way.
Yes.
As opposed to any of us really being that guy that's like, okay, I'm going to take these guys because they'll take out their scouts, and I'll take this because this will screw up their vehicles or whatever. You know, those kind of players where they have a set sort of step by step. I'm
Playing
doing
by
this.
the
I'm
numbers.
doing this. I'm doing this.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the big common thing I've heard here, including Cuss, is know your army.
Yeah.
Right? If you get a list that you know it's a winning list, but you've never played it before, you will lose more often than you'll win. I think it's a safe thing to say. If you do not know your list, if you do not know your army, it's not going to work.
No.
Which is why I lost so many Tyranids games in the beginning.
Well, it's like it's like in the tag team tourney, you know. I was like, okay, I've basically been ignoring stratagems in 8th up until then, and I was like, okay, for this little tourney, I'm just gonna fucking just nut out those stratagems. I'm gonna have, this is what they all do, and that's what I'm gonna do. And it wasn't a really power gamey written list. I just played it super fucking hard.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's why I've got a 50, pretty much 50-50 with my Death Guard, because I'm still learning how to play the Death Guard to the better ability. Because I had that half and half Poxwalkers, half Plague Marines. It's all in or nothing. You've got to make a decision. And so I'm learning that and stuff like that. The more Terminators, the better, which are core units. So yes.
I'm expecting I'm going to keep rolling with what I've got and start building and just learning properly how to play it. But if you play, you're going to know that you're going to face, 3 Keepers and Secrets and a Shalaxi.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that you're going to you know that that's my core, or it may be 3 Keepers and Secrets with something else, but you know that that's what you're going to get. I'm just going to play it. I'm just building a list at the moment. I've got Be'lakor, Bloodthirst, Great Unclean, Keeper of Secrets, and Lord of Change. Yeah,
and I'm away that weekend.
Yeah. As I said to you, I don't think my Grey Knights could have taken that force at all on the weekend. I mean, there just was not enough shooting firepower to damage those Keeper of Secrets at all. And they don't have a power like Null Zone or something like that, unless they might get access to the Codex ones in the next Codex when it comes out. But I don't think there was, apart from being able to throw out 3 damage smites against demons, there wasn't a lot they could have done of it. Big demon hunters, they would have got toasted, I reckon.
But that's what I mean. I know how to play my Slaanesh. It's just the dice. I could probably list that same list, play you again, and it'll be a completely different game.
Oh yeah.
I play Greg, and Greg will say every time I do my saves against him, save. You know what I mean? It's just that. It's just the day of no dice.
God, yeah. Well, Adam and I play it a fair bit, and I think we experiment with our lists a fair bit to see, all right, let's see what this does. Let's see what this does. And I think that's the only way you really, for me, that's the only way to build a list. You've got to have that experimentation and see, all right, they perform this way, and you can't take it isolated. You need to do it more than once, of course. But do that. For me, it's do that more than crunch the numbers to build a list.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like martial arts. It's learned reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you
react. Can't I just punch it first?
Really well.
Well, I mean, that's the general thing. Know your army, know the rules. I mean,
yeah.
The amount of times you watch people change from, say, Space Marines and things like that, and gunline armies in particular, even. As soon as they move into something like Nids or Orcs or, something that shifts toward the later phases of the game, that's when you see people falling over. Because, even some of us that have been playing for, 20 years, we're forgetting psychic phases. or we don't 100% know how pile-in and consolidations and things work, and how that can go to our advantage and things like that.
Yeah, still stuck in 8th edition on a few things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In 8th, I played it. Every battle was a different army. I never took the same army twice in a row because, you spent money on these things. You want to use them.
Yeah. Well,
I found I never knew the stratagems. I never knew the core rules. And it just got really frustrating at times. You go, I know there's a code. I know it's in here. Oh, that was the Blood Angels one. Damn it. I'm in Grey Knights now. And, it's just now playing one force 4 or 5 times in a row now. I'm starting to get to know them. They're starting to come together. And I think that's really helping. But I know as soon as Custodians come out, I know as soon as Grey Knights come out, I'll be back into having many armies on the go again.
When Imperial Guard comes out, you're all stuffed. I can't wait.
Says you. I've got more Imperial Guards than you.
But I don't know how to use them.
It's all right. The Great Devourer will love eating them.
I've got whole units of Baneblades. I don't need to know how to play.
Boom, you're dead. That's it.
Kaboom!
I jink.
I used the marker lights. Wait, wrong army.
That's it. I go underground. So, Mark, you were summing it up nicely. Continue with your summing it up. I'm just going to put you on the spot. That's all.
Summing up. I guess we're all just sort of making up plans on the fly, really.
like this.
Making fluff armies and trying to have as much fun as possible.
Yeah.
I thought there might have been a bit more diversity in the opinions here tonight, but apparently we're all in the same boat.
Well, as I said, the last army I made against Stephen was the most researched I've ever done. And I did not enjoy it because I was stressing over it. I was going, what have I got? I've got to remember this. So I started actually writing myself notes. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do this. And you know what happened? I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
But it was stressful. I'm like, oh my God, this is not...
I used to do that kind of thing. I used to look up the lists that people had used and and all of that kind of stuff. But I never found that it was any better than anything I could just schlack together.
Same. That list I played, it was practically my normal list minus, add 2 things. It was my list.
Yeah.
So I must be doing something right if it's my list, but it's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you always check out. This is one of the reasons we watch battle reports, right? We learn what they're doing, how they do things, and sort of try. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I must try and remember to do that. I don't mind that. It's learning from what other people are doing, but taking someone's list.
Individual maneuvers and stuff like that. You're like, oh, if I'm in that situation, I could do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I've played that rule completely wrong for the last 20 years.
Did that with Warhammer Quest a couple of years back. We were like, oh shit, we've been playing that wrong since the 90s. Fuck.
There's no bolters in Warhammer Quest. Who would have thought?
Especially if you've been losing because of that for a long time too.
Oh, the bad bit is we were making the game easier the way we were interpreting it. Yeah. And it's not an easy game, even if you're misinterpreting that.
No, it's not. Yeah. I look forward to the new game. There's some Steve's homebrew. Should be good. See? Everyone's invited who's watching.
Everyone, show up at Steve's place. We'll all play Warhammer Quest and get pissed.
It's okay on Steve. We're not talking about you, but you're welcome to join.
Yeah, the other Steve.
The different Steve.
The Steve with the beer.
Beer. Cool.
But, I was going to say, but yeah, it sounds like we're all kind of in the team. You don't want to not plan at all, and you don't want to plan too much. You just want to know what you can do. Know your options and have them ready. Army.
Have a concept of what you're trying to achieve when you deploy. Because that's where I usually fail. do this. Oh, I should have done that.
The old, I fucked up that deployment.
Oh my God. Oh, and what really hurt me with going back to Battle Report, hurt me against Game on Steve is because I sort of, when you got your deployment zone, you're here as a bulk, maybe it's some kind of, maybe one off to the side, but it's usually a bulk army in the front. When they've all got Phobos, and there's here, across the table, I can't concentrate fire on that. My Daemon Prince and Bullet Drones were there to be the distraction. Oh, look, they're distracting one thing. Son of a monkey. Yeah, sorry, sidetracked. But yes, have a concept. Have what you would like to happen. Visualize.
And don't be afraid if it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, don't scrap the list straight away. It could be the dice rolls. It could be that one big frickin' piece of scenery in the middle that's stopping you moving.
It could be that you're running your list against an army that it's not suited for.
Yeah, you might have brought paper to a rock fight.
But that would win.
Shh.
Okay, hang on. That wins, right?
It wins.
Yeah, that's why he's a champion. Right. But it also matters what you're playing against, too. If you know, like in a tournament, you can't. You've got to build a generic list, yeah? If you know that I'm going to play against 4 Keeper of Secrets, I know that I won't turn up. I mean, I know that I need to change my list.
I'm actually not a fan of doing that. I tend to make all-comers lists regardless of who I'm fighting, just because it's good practice at the very least.
Yeah, I try not to sort of sit there and go, okay, I know this guy's going to bring 4 of blah thing. I try to have a balanced list that can, because if you do that, that'll be the one day that he decides not to bring 4 of those demons, and then again your plan is shot through.
I did that to someone a couple of months ago. I showed up with like my demons, and they're like, "But you always play Marines." I'm like, "Yeah, but I brought demons today." It's you. Showed up with like my Nurgle army, and you were like, "That's not fucking Primaris."
They're the ones who got left in the tank for a little long.
And that's precisely the point there. Because if you go to that too much detail, you get caught flat-footed.
They're going to be different. If I know I'm playing against a demon army, I know that I don't need AP weapons because they're all invulnerable, right? And if I know I'm playing against Grey Knights, I know that I'm not going to turn up either. But I know if I'm playing a Marine army, I know I need AP and multiple wounds. Yeah. So I will build a list depending on who I'm playing. I'm not going to go, okay, he has 4 tanks, he has 3 of this, but I know if I'm playing Tyranids, for me, okay, I need multiple shots. That's it, multiple shots against Tyranids. If you bring big units only, that's fine. I will go, you son of a dog, but I will do it. All right. Oh my God, the Honest Gamer is rating us with 59 people.
Hey.
Wow.
We need to talk more.
The problem with when you write a list like that is then like I show up with my knights and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Honest Gamer, thank you so much for the big raid. Holy crap. Hello everyone. How is everyone?
Hello.
We're talking about stuff. Quick, we need to be dressed. HMS Banksy, thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. I love a little dance. That's the only Ultraman I like, the little dancing one. And it's just great enough also. It's a Space Wolf, yeah. Hams fan, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, the raid is huge. Make sure we better say hi to the Honest Gamer, and everybody better say hi and go over and say g'day and hit that follow. Oh my God, Snitbag is now following. We'll just wait while everyone still does the follow.
Intermission.
Like that's your problem with list catering, though. Like if they show up.
Proposition Joe is now following.
Yay!
He's following you particularly, Mark. Proposition Joe.
Especially when like all of us own like a dozen different armies, you know.
Well,
Forpian, thank you for the follow.
I'm only 2.
Wow. Oh, hydrate.
Got to hydrate.
Everyone's got to hydrate.
Oh,
I haven't got a drink.
3 times.
I'm out of beer.
Sit back.
Well, I just opened a fresh one, so.
Corridor, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, that's 2. That's 2 hydrates.
Could you take another sip for me?
Militant Snowflake, thank you. Oh, Militant's done another hydrate. That's 4.
There we go. You have to drink for those of us who don't have a drink.
Oh, fuck it. Right. Grimgar, thank you for the follow. And now it's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 hydrates. That's 7 hydrates.
Oh, look, I better make it an even number, hey? There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for the follow, everyone. You're all pricks. Thank you for joining us. Oh my god. That's a lot of... Pronto Hill, shut up. Alright, so... Oh, stretch. We've got to stretch. Oh, we got to stretch. Oh my god. Oh. This is a stretch to go reach another drink. Yeah!
That sounds like you're cheating.
Oh my god, thank you all for the follows. My gosh. Oh my god, the Honest Gamer, you've got some explaining to do, but we'll be catching up. Oh, that's a lot of hydrate. That's a lot of hydrate. Musa Coca-Cola is now following too. Thank you. Right, we were talking about stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we were discussing, about list tailoring versus making all-comers lists.
Yes, so everyone who's just joined us, this is Wobbly Player Syndrome. This is our podcast we do once a month. You have joined us in our recording of April's episode. The episode is called... Michael.
I love it when a plan comes together.
So, yes, welcome. And, oh my god. Holy crap, thank you so much, Cuss1234, for the subscription, in fact, for the subscribe. Oh, gifted. Hams fan, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Look, we've got a dancing Chaos Warrior now. That's even more exciting. Let him go. Thank you so much, Hams fan. Oh my god, now we're going to catch up with this. Why am I wrong? She subscribed. Oh, Lemotake's been watching in the background. He's been lurking because he's just been gifted a sub. Hello. What? Lucky we weren't talking about you. And it came on. Steve's now subscribed. There you have, Steve. Where in Oz are you from? Who wants to take that one? No one.
Well, we're all in Canberra, pretty much.
We're all in Canberra, yes. Oh, this is the next hour.
It's in here, so we can just say we're all in Canberra because it's easier.
We are in Canberra, yes. You can tell by the accents. I'm just enjoying the dancing Chaos for it. Look at him go! Yeah. Shake that booty! He's still gone. Oh, Hans fan has just gone.
There he goes.
Everybody. And now more follows. Thank you so much for the gift subs. Thank you for the follows, everyone. Hope you have an enjoyable evening. Hopefully, the Honest Gamer, you had an enjoyable stream. What did you get up to? Or did you just raid and run? We do that as Twitch streamers. Oh, I'm so tired. Go annoy someone else.
So before you got distracted with all of the new chat people, so you're a proponent of the list tailoring, Greg?
I am. I tailor my list depending on what force I'm playing. Yes, absolutely. If I'm playing against Marine Army, I will bring in AP weapons, or probably more tanks. Lehman Russ tanks. We'll go Imperial Guard. I will take the Lehman Russ or Demolishers. So if I'm playing against Orcs or the Swarm armies, the Punishers come out.
The question is how sort of deep down you go with that, because I think most people tailor their list to the type of force they're going against, assuming they know what the heck that is.
List tailoring makes baby Jesus cry.
Yeah, we were pretty much all ragging on Greg for it pretty much immediately.
It does. It kind of does.
Well, I don't see anything wrong. If I'm playing against demons, I will take multiple shots.
So are you the kind of person that goes, I know he bought a Dreadnought last week, and he's probably going to put that on the table. Am I going to bring something that specifically destroys that unit to hamper their enjoyment?
Judging by the comments so far, no.
So realistically, the answer is yes.
No, look, if I know they've got a new unit, yes, they'll probably put it on going, no, do I need to figure out what I need to destroy that with? If it's my Imperial Guard, no, because I always win with that.
Well, I mean, I have done some games, like, I don't use my knights much, because if I'm playing my knights, I prefer my opponent list tailors. And I will tell them, I'm bringing my knights, is that okay?
Yeah.
Be prepared to face knights, which is what I did to Greg the last time I used them. And I seem to recall your Imperial Guard didn't win that one, Greg.
I seem to recall you got very scared by a little tiny psycho from the Imperial Guard when he hit you with a big stick.
Yeah, but then I stepped on him.
Doesn't matter. Big stick. Big splinter.
Must have been
The Titan's got a thorn in its paw.
If I play those demons again, I probably won't be charging in as much as I did.
Yeah. This Taylor is evil, not in a good way.
I don't list Taylor, like, I sit back now, what haven't I played? Like, next month, like, I played Greg with my guard. I'd never played guard before. You know, I played my demons a lot this year, but my poor orcs are sitting collecting dust. Next month I may go, I'm going to play orcs. Or I may go.
See, the problem is that once you get into the list tailoring, you start stereotyping sides. And
absolutely.
That's when you sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm going up against guard. There'll be lots of guardsmen, and then the next thing you know, there's like a fleet full of Lehman Russ tanks coming up board.
When you're playing against guard, they're going to bring tanks.
Yeah, but then you could bring infantry only.
Oh, absolutely.
And
so I did that against Tower. I said, you know what? I'm not going to take my tanks. I'm going to do a full infantry unit, just to throw him out. That worked so well. I got smashed. That was 7th ed. Doesn't count as my win ratio.
Yeah, I mean, like, list tailoring is a double-edged sword. It's, like we were saying, can be a case of over-planning, where you over-specialize and then your opponent shows up with something totally unexpected, like demons. And then you're like, well, shit.
Oh, yeah, have the conversation. Absolutely. We've got people talking. If we had the conversation, yes. With Game on Steve, I was letting him know, I'm going to bring Mort. And then the next 5 minutes said, no, I'm not. And the next 5 minutes said, yeah, I am. The next one said, no, I'm not. And it was because he wasn't painted completely, and my ego got in the way, and I said, I can't put him on the table. Not painted properly. I just can't do it.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's 10 points.
No, I wasn't worried about the 10 points. It was my pride on, especially when we were playing
You can't put a Primarch that's not painted
we were
down,
out at jobs,
really.
and so people were going to walk by and look at the armies and stuff. I can't say, don't look at that! I was just big black cardboard, like you're censored.
Or just get a tiny little doily over the top.
Yeah.
Or just get like the old Warhammer Fantasy ones with the cardboard cutouts sticking on the slaughter base.
Going against guard, and they rock up with Scounds and Valkyries. Yes. So yes, Anthony mentioned he plays.
Technically, their guard.
Yeah, well, that's to say. Tara said. Anthony said he plays Astra Militarum. Well, she does.
Yeah,
but he plays Militarum Tempestus. So if you said, he's going to bring lots of tanks. Well, no, he's not.
Lots of transports and lots of Valkyries.
Yeah. There you go.
And hotshot las guns. I hate those things.
I love hotshot las guns. Yeah. But yeah, if you tailor too far, you're going to get hurt. Yes.
Well, yeah, like it's hard to tailor against me because I am really like choppy and changey. One week I'll show up with a Ravenwing army. Next week I'll show up with Deathwing. Then I'll show up with Genestealer Cult.
I said Death Guard, but I meant the other Chaos Force.
Yeah, Deathwing.
Yeah. Dark Angels, yeah. I wouldn't know. I couldn't tailor a list to that. I would be building a list that I'm comfortable with and know how it works. Because you got those 3 factions within one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if I'm playing against Yukari, who have 3 factions, but I know they're all still glass cannons.
Yeah, they're all very similar.
Yeah. They're all, toughness 3 with bugger all armor. Yeah.
Delicious.
Oh, hang on, I just gave it away what I play. No! Who wants to play against my Yukari?
So, well...
Oh, look at these hands.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, it is! Thank you very much, Ideas Knight. I hope I said it right. My accent's a bit weird for the non-Aussies and sometimes for the Aussies. But...
Depends on how much he's had to drink.
No, it depends what part of the country I'm in. Or overseas, where I had an Aussie ask me what part of England I'm from.
When I was at uni,
Wow.
I got heaps of Americans asking me where in America I was from, because they thought I was from like Michigan.
It is funny because I spent a lot of time for work over New Zealand. There are some words that come out a little bit funny.
Yeah.
And my wife looks at me and go, New Zealand, huh? Shut up.
Yeah,
Shut
I'm
up
terrible.
and get me a beer from the chili bin. Sorry,
I'm terrible for sounding like whoever I hang out with the most. My accent changes.
Oh, shit, don't hang out with me then.
Yeah. You should hear me when I've gone to visit my family for an extended period of time. I come back and I sound like I'm from the country.
Alright, so we've been talking about list building, clearly. You've all caught up. We talked about having a net list. I've got hold of a net list. I should be able to win every time, but I've never used this before. And I'd lost. Why? I'm better than that. My mum told me. Versus, I'm going to build a list that I know. And then you'll know. What do we think? What are we doing? What do people want to think about?
I think building a list I'm going to have fun with more than worrying about the in-depth, detailed rules of a tournament list, which maybe I may not enjoy playing.
Yeah,
it's more fluff and fun.
Like that list which I built, there was no fluff in it. It was very lean. I enjoyed playing it. Am I going to play the same list? I may not have the chariot in there this time, but that's only a minor tweak. Now I've just got to tweak it. Is it going to be that meta list that's in the tournament list? No way. I don't have 24 fiends to put in. I'm not going to... That is just way too much. But when Be'lakor comes out, I've already built the list for him just then. So
freaking awesome model.
That's what I mean. I want Be'lakor in my list when he comes out, so I will build the list around Be'lakor.
Yeah, and it's not because of the stats; it's because that model is just unbelievable.
And that's what I mean. The Keeper of Secrets, they look unformidable having 4 of them in one straight line. It's just like, which one am I going to hit first?
Right.
And it's the
Who needs to volunteer to play test that first?
Sure.
But,
I'll bring along some Gallants, a Castellan.
I'll bring my little Gretchens for you.
Yeah. I do want a Grand Army. I so want a Grand Army.
You know what I mean? I don't build a list for just the sake of building a list. I build a list because I like the model.
Yeah. Plays a big part.
Yes.
I think so. Look, as all the new viewers, we're not tournament players. We play competitive, but we don't play tournaments. Tournaments is a very different conversation. That is, build the utmost devastating combination stuff that you're trying to do. But you still need to learn every tweak and twist of that. Because if you get that ultimate list and you've never used it, never play tested it, you will have a very sad weekend.
Yeah, because you'll forget that psychic power, or you'll forget that, at the end of the movement phase I can do blah thing, or all of that kind of little. The devil's in the detail,
I'm surprised you guys don't build your list. If I've got Yukari and I know I'm playing against demons, I bring that bloody relic that if you try and do a psychic power, you're going to perils.
And that did hurt.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that against Space Marines. I'd take something else. But if I know playing against demons, especially Slaanesh, especially with Zench...
Well, of course you're going to do that kind of thing, but you're not going to be... You're not going to go, oh, yeah, he bought Bellicor last week. I'll take... half my list will be devoted just to nuking that one guy. You know what I mean? Like, usually I'll put together a list that of stuff that I want to play. Sometimes it's a new unit that I've never tried before or something like that. And then what I'll do is I'll go, okay, what am I going against? Can I, adjust my options or maybe swap a unit here or there to slightly favour, but leave the rest of the army in such a way that if they break the mould, you're not completely trashed on turn one, you know?
Absolutely. So let me put it to you. We did a slow grow in 2019. It seems so long ago. Did you build your list from day one, or did you customise it each month to get to a point?
I designed a 2,000 point list and cut it up into 250 point chunks and then built it based on the most interesting models that I wanted to build first.
Yeah, I did the same. I built a 2,000 point list and played. I got to about halfway, went, that doesn't work. I need to change that one. That's why I now have 2,200 points.
I got an internet list and then proceeded to destroy it. And then proceeded to destroy it by buying Gene Stealers en masse.
I won't use a net list. That's bad. I download an internet list.
No one smart makes a Tyranid internet list and then adds 40 Gene Stealers to it.
I didn't have a lot of choice with the Tempestus, so I have...
there's not heaps of options in that list, is there?
To be fair, if you do yourself a favour, what's your Instagram, quick? Anthony, that's you.
Bulldust 40k.
Have a look at his military Tempestus. The customisation he's done on his vehicles, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've dubbed it the Chimerox.
So Snapbag loves building an army to 2,500 to 3,000 for that juicy sideboard. Yes, that's exactly what I do. I try to build about 3,000 at most and cap it, because then I have some variation depending on who I'm playing against.
I mean, 3,000 points is a good starting point for an army, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So if you knew, how many knights do you have?
I'm pretty sure it's 31. Pretty sure.
Hang on, wasn't it 25 last time we asked?
I lose track because my dog ate one of them, so I bought a bunch of new ones. And
the dog ate one, so I bought a bunch of new ones.
Well, he needs to account for the attrition.
Yeah. Well, it was because I was like, oh well, it was one of the armigers, and they come in units of 3, and you can't buy them in individual boxes. So I then had to buy more boxes so that the leftovers would make up new units. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah. Says me he's got over 3,000 points of Salamander's paint. No, that's wrong, man. Oh, no.
I'm so glad I don't have your painting backlog.
But that's a good question. Like, Snitmag has brought that up. When you build your list, look, how many points do now you got your Blood Angels? You said you had about 3,000 Primaris?
Nearly 3,000 Primaris and nearly 5,000 normal.
So I see these pictures. They go, here's 10,000 points of Ultramarines. A, Ultramarines, come on, seriously. B, 10,000 points. Why? For me, I truly do not understand building to 10,000 points worth of one army. Saying that I got over 6,000.
Because when you build,
that's not the point.
Because then you have all the options. That's kind of how I ended up with such ludicrously big armies. It's like, okay, I'll build a tactical squad, but I want one with all of the different options. So I built a squad with each option because I don't like magnetizing things, and I wanted squads with all the different special weapons, and that's why I've bought like 3 of those gladiator tanks so I can build each variant, and that's how you end up with 10,000 points of things.
And then you've got to add in those special formations and stratagems where it's like, hey, I need 3 predators.
Yeah, that's why my Death Angels have 15 librarians.
Yeah.
Are you making excuses for yourself? So, Hams fan, what's a good way to get into 40k, please? Thank you for the please. Build and paint in 500 point blocks? Question mark.
Custodians.
Well,
Custodians. There's your army. 3 models, you've got a full 2,000 point army. Done.
I would say just get a unit and just build unit by unit. Don't be so focused on whether it's 200 points or 500 points or anything like that. Buy a unit you like the look of, paint it up, play it, and pray that you haven't picked something like a Haruspex or Pyrovore that's garbage.
I think the biggest part is you got to find the way you like to play as well.
Yeah.
Because you feel like I painted Tyranids, yeah. Fuck, I wish I had a tank.
It's hard when you're first getting into it because you don't know how you enjoy to play until you play like that.
Correct.
But I think limiting yourself to like finishing painting the little thing you've got first is a great way to not end up like me, where you've just got piles and piles and piles of unpainted models.
I've got piles and piles and piles of boxed in Spurs.
Oh yeah,
so do I.
Yeah.
I really want
Yeah, I think Adam might. You're up here, Michael. Adam's about there.
I'm catching Michael.
Andrew's apparently off all the way down here.
I haven't got anything.
Mark, where are
anything
you?
waiting with.
About here.
For what? As far as
is Shane?
Oh,
If Michael's here, Adam's about here. Where are you? Tell me when.
I have almost no shame, to be honest.
Ooh.
As far as my painting goes, because I've got a lot of Tyranids that are unpainted, but all my Ultramarines are painted. Every last one, and that's like 4,500 points. But what I see is like there's a lot of the starter sets, and they come with a lot of stuff in them, and what winds up happening is you're saddled with 4 or 5 units of unpainted miniatures, and then it becomes sort of a wall that you can't get over the top of, and then you sort of sit there and go, well, I've got to do all this painting and everything like that, and then you just sort of fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
So this is the way that I got into 40k was I just bought a box of tactical Marines and painted them up and started playing with that, and later on it was like, oh yeah, I'll grab a captain or I'll grab a tank or I'll grab whatever I feel that I've needed extra after playing a game or two. And I've generally found that to be the better way to start an army rather than just going, oh yeah, I've got the core of an army, and I've got to paint all this stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam.
It's the law for me that drives you.
The law, absolutely.
The law.
Yeah.
You find a law that you love, and it will get you over the hurdle of painting every time. For
me, if the army looks cool, I don't care how it plays. Like orcs, I love orcs.
Everyone loves orcs.
But you know what I mean. I like the goofiness of them. I like the improvised axes and stuff like that. They just look cool, and then then you can be silly playing them. That's the only thing I can recommend. Pick an army that looks cool, because if you like the army, you're going to paint them. They're going to survive.
It's a lot easier to paint an army that you enjoy painting.
Yes. There's nothing worse than going, I'm going to do this X army, and then you start gluing it, and you're going, I hate my life. And then
that
it just
said,
doesn't take off.
I'd like to caveat that, though. do the research. Do the research first, because if you pick something that looks cool and it's got a model kit from the 80s or something,
oh man,
you might be biting off more than you're prepared to chew.
So Hamspan has said thanks. He's going to start with maybe Crimson Slaughter, and they also like Drakari. I'm not gender assigning. Sorry, Drakari is. I've got a Drakari army. I did a slow grow with Drakari army. At the end of the slow grow we did for 12 months, I hated my Drakari army.
You had a witch Drakari army, though.
Pure witch Drakari army. Good point. But to be fair,
we've got to caveat that the slow grow had almost no standard rules games in the entire thing.
The slow grow itself, those campaigners, I think is what hurt me about those witches. I think if we played normal, I would have enjoyed it. But the new Drakari book is out, and I played one game with my Drakari, and I'm going, I think I'm going to get into this a lot.
Yeah, whereas with the slow grow, we had one where it basically clipped their wings and they couldn't move, and then we had ones where all their ranges
I was looking forward to against Michael's Gene Steelers. Look, all right, it's about match, and then everything flipped. All my flyers were grounded,
and this is the thing that you got to remember as well. Which you need to play a standard game.
Your tanks could fly. Your flamers were 24 inches or something ridiculous. It was a depressing.
It was the dumbest scenario. So dumb.
It was so dumb. And since we brought that up, the handprint of my Land Raider. It just feels like we should put that in there too.
She's not here. Somewhere in Sydney is like fuck. The signal has gone up again. He's talking about that.
It's a giant handprint in the sky.
If you're not sure what this is, you want to find out what the handprint of the Land Raider is, all you have to listen to is episodes 1 through to 37.
But the entire story is there. Yes.
My recommendation is find a hobby store and try out and talk to them. Feel about if you're going to be a shooting army or an attack, with your fist army. And if you're an attack with your fist army, find which model that you like and stuff. So you got to experiment. If you got mates who play against them, let them use their models and stuff like that. Get a feel for it. Because if you invest on a starter box, which are now they're no longer the 120 point mark, they're now the 200 something.
Oh, the combat patrols.
Yeah,
they definitely cost money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the cheapest anymore.
The 120 box I thought was a good starter box set because it gave you a taste without that $500, $300 investment. Like you got to know first off. Plastic crack for 40k is expensive.
And that's one of the reasons why I say pick a unit you like the look of and just buy it and go from there, because in that case you're getting in for $70.
Yeah. Lore, absolutely. I play Salamanders because I love the lore.
Read the lore. That's what got me into Blood Angels.
Jump on YouTube, watch some battle reports,
Correct.
watch them and go, I like that army. The people that do the battle reports, they know these armies back and front, but you can't sit back and go, okay, well, they're a chargy, they don't shoot, but that's my play style. That's how I can see my doing it, and then look at the army.
Saying that, most armies out there you can build depending on your style of play. If you're an assault army and you've got a space marine army, you can still build a list to match that. You have fast attacks and stuff like that. If you're a Drakari and you prefer to punch them in the face with a very big fist, well, you can actually do that. There's not a lot of units to do that, but you can actually do that.
I can't shoot.
You can't shoot. The Falcon Grab Tank kit is timeless. The Falcon Grab Tank kit is timeless. Yes, they will never improve Eldar because they can never be improved. Apparently,
you just show up with a demon army that's entirely skull cannons.
Well, that's the other part. If you look at the game, most people take a battalion. Everyone who watches that, they know what the battalion is. And so if you like all the skull tanks and all the stuff, you can't fit that. You can fit 3. Well, they're expensive, but yeah. high skilled. Drakari look quite
Yeah.
high skilled. Core to compare. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I would say so.
They're very
Paper and do
unforgiving.
have some really
Drakari
nice
have
models.
a higher level of.
They're a glass cannon army.
Yeah, they hit
Yeah,
hard, but they can't take a hit.
I mean, realistically, the game is really sort of geared as for beginning. There's beginner sides that are very much easier to play than
Marines.
some of the others.
Marines,
Marines
or your
are
generic
definitely
chaos.
one of them.
Your generic chaos.
Yeah.
They're your core. You got your armor, you got your strength, you got your core abilities.
And they're fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Once you start branching off into Drakari or Tyranids or Orcs or
Even
all
Death
of these
Guard have their own
others
tweaks. Thousand Suns have their tweaks. Chaos.
yeah,
as well.
and it's one of those things that you kind of need to be a little bit across the rules. So if you pick one of those sides that is a bit less of a beginner sort of thing, just be prepared to lose a lot of games.
No. Just
while you're getting up to speed.
Orcs for the win. My first army with Orcs. So, and I loved them. I don't play them anymore. I don't know why. I do, because they became the difference with the Orcs now when they were back then. Back then, I do this, but I explode. Don't have that random explosion.
I'm going to fire my shock attack gun. Yeah, the Snotlings have landed in the leg of the Terminator armor suit, and it's now going to walk randomly.
It was awesome. Orcs were awesome back in 3rd and 4th.
Good old second ed.
It was good. So yeah, if you want to try and find a place to have a talk. If you said battle reports, great way, or lore. If you're going to go to Space Marine, the only advice I say about Space Marine, not Ultramarines.
Do it. They have a Primarch on deck.
Yeah,
Best
I mean,
chapter.
look, having a Primarch is pretty handy. I wish they would fucking release my Primarch.
Mine's due to come back by now. Come on,
I'm too busy
Vulcan.
having a sleep.
You're internally just come on, not turn up.
I will confess that I was a little annoyed when they announced it because I'm like, come on, there's a lot of them that are on just gap year that could just come back.
There were so many Primarchs that were not dead, and they brought back one of the dead ones. I was like, are you fucking shitting me?
I know, but of all the dead ones, I'm glad it was my one.
Alright, so let's bring it back to our topic. We're talking about list building and stuff like that. And actually, it's a very important part. How do you start a list? How do you start an army? It's actually great thank you, Hams fan, for jumping on, because we didn't touch that at all. We've just gone, we're experienced players, we know how to list. Apparently I'm the devil because I build my list compared to who I'm playing against.
Story checks out.
I've been out before. I played Mark. I went, I reckon he'll build this. I turned up and went, oh shit, he hasn't done that. Okay, I'll work out how to do this.
And then I probably lost anyway.
Didn't want to say, but you know.
But yeah, I think as a couple
3
of
years running top of the ladder, but I don't want to say anything. 3 years.
Hey, I won the slow grow.
You won the slow grow and got the wooden spoon?
No, I got the wooden spoon this year. Just missed the wooden spoon the year I won the slow grow.
So yeah, it's a very good list. How do you build a list when you're trying to start the actual hobby itself?
Get in a battle scribe and have it just a play of the list that you're looking at. See what you can.
So you can spend the $3.50 per month on the Warhammer 40k app, or you can jump on Battlescribe. There is a free option for that to build a list for that as well. I actually have both. Yes, I've subscribed.
Really?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to test it out. Did you see me rage about how long it took for the Drakari book to come and be updated?
I saw the entire thing, and that's why I congratulated you.
I just unsubscribed the rants.
Oh, they let you do that now.
No. I'm subscribed, but I unsubscribed to him.
Yeah. So no, that's a good way. Just have a play with the list and stuff like that. But it comes down to, I think, maybe stay away from Forge World. That's good advice.
Yeah, Forge World you don't want to be buying shit from Forge World until you're really confident with your modeling skills, because a lot of their kits are a real pain in the ass for like advanced people to build. Someone who's just starting out is going to wreck them.
The other thing is that they can be a bit cheesy as far as stats go, and that can really, really turn people off playing against you. I know for a long time we had a no Forge World rule when we were starting RLG 40K.
Yeah, it's going back. That is going back.
Because we had certain players coming in with like just complete cheese lists and
no
wrecking everyone.
He did not like that.
Fortunately, it was the Ultramarines that saw them out.
I have a Orc killer tank still in the box. I've clipped him out, and I got the instructions, A4 piece of paper.
Yeah, fucking
No instructions.
The barbed Hybridul and the scythed Herodul. Those are still the original casts, and when you get that box, when you get out, it's an A4 picture that is like, here's a picture of the model, just fucking build it, cunt. There's no instructions.
For all the newcomers who've just come over, we're not family friendly. Sorry.
I've got this killer tank sitting in the
Safe for
front
work
room,
Mark is here.
Not even
Not
built.
safe for
It's
work
been there
Michael's
for 2
here.
years.
Sorry.
It's a misnomer.
Yeah.
I've delved into Forge World a little bit. I quite like them, but they are a little bit more challenging.
The new kits,
the
new kits are really good.
But as far as actually like just putting a list together of stuff, Battle Scribe is definitely probably your easiest way because it does all the validation for you. So like if you want to put together a certain type of detachment, or if you just want to schlack stuff together, it'll tell you exactly what you're missing. Yeah. So you look at like a battalion, you need 3 lots of troops and 2 HQs and all of that kind of stuff. And if you haven't got any of that, it comes up red and it says, hey, you need more of this or less of this, or
so
all of that.
Build a list without buying the books, because the books aren't inexpensive. So you can build a list with Battle Scribe through that. Look, I still recommend once you've made a decision, buy the book.
Absolutely. You'll get all the fluff and you'll get the artwork and everything like that, and that can really help you get attached to your army.
But there's a lot of resources out there to learn some fluff and stuff like that. Forge World instructions are like engineering degree not included.
Yes.
Yeah. Struggle is real.
Yeah.
The fucking what is it? The Storm Eagles. Those are
bullshit. Still building your list for the first time is build it. You know, I keep going. Play the ones that you like. I'm sure you're going to lose, but just refine it. Oh well, that didn't work. You know, I'll play with this one. As long as you're willing to lose a lot, and once you built it, you know how to play it.
See, the other thing is that early on,
a professional wooden spinner. Sorry.
Yes.
the thing is that early on, you're only going to have a few units anyway. So putting together a list is usually okay, I have this stuff. That's my list.
Yeah.
So it's not really until you start getting to that 1,000, 1,500 point that you start to have choices.
Yeah. Hans fan, he thought 500 point blocks. It's 250 blocks. It's probably a good starting. We did a slow go, and that's what we did. And at the end of the year, we had 2,000 points.
Yeah.
We did
until they dropped the points.
Oh my god, yes, that's not the point.
I really enjoyed doing a 500 point chunk slow grow, which I have done a couple of times, and I really enjoyed that. But it is more to paint at one go.
Yeah,
but it's also you've also got a more usable chunk though for your 500.
In the end, starting off with a new army you've never played before, battle reports, hobby stores, friends. Start there. Get some lore. If you feel like, they sound cool, the feral runic of the Space Wolves. I love it. That Dwarven feel, that Norse feel. Yeah, I like it. Or the feel for speed and that very...
Speed freaks orcs.
I'm still sticking with Space Marines. I'm going with Khan, all right? Come on, Jesus. If you want that swarm, there's that Starship Troopers swarm coming over. Yeah, it's Tyrants. No doubt.
If you want T-shirt wearing Rambos, Caddyshack.
But yeah, it is a personal taste. As I think my first models I bought was squats. My first one was orcs. I no longer play both of those. Squats and army? What that? Yeah.
They have a model.
They do.
Two. I have 2 new squat models.
There you go.
In Necromunda.
So yeah, it's a great question. I really appreciate the question, considering what we're talking about. We just put it into perspective. We play games. We know how to build lists. We cheat by getting them offline.
There's no shame in stealing somebody else's idea and ruining it.
Beefy Cobby. Well, yeah. So we did have a conversation, and I tried a net list. Adam tried a net list. Well, I'd say we tried net lists with a slight variation. We did not win our games.
I tried a list off the line.
Where,
but it was my list, but it was twisted a little bit. Yeah, it didn't work.
Well, Anthony and Game and Steve played lists that they're familiar with, they know, and they got the wins. Yeah.
And they're just things we wanted to play.
Yeah.
Really. They inspired us to get the game happening.
So, if you're looking at net lists, remember most net lists out there will be based on tournament plays, which generally won't be the best way to play a game. If you're going to play a tournament, that's a different world completely. If you want to play just to have fun with your mates and stuff like that, or still competitively, look at it different. Find your fluff.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you like?
If you pick up a net list, it can be tricky to use depending on the net list you pick up. Like, you need to learn to play it.
Yeah.
So you're probably better off building something where you already have an idea of what you want to do instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the devil's always in those details, because you can pick up the best one that won at Vegas' bloody tournament there, and you forget the stratagem that you need, or the ability that regens, or there's something that you will forget that is core to that list working as it is, and being that you're a noob, you're just not going to know.
That's right. I forgot many things that net list I had was meant to do. I'm not a noob. It's just a list I hadn't played before.
The subtitle to 40k is "Rules Will Be Forgotten."
Depending how many times you press hydrate, you mongrels.
Well, how many people here who have all been playing for the best part of 2 to 3 decades?
Going on 3, yeah.
And how many of us have forgotten a psychic phase entirely, or or that you can pile in, or any of these other normal things that every single army does.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Yeah, and that was kind of the inspiration for the topic. It's like, if you make your plan too detailed, you're just going to fuck yourself when you forget the integral bits of it.
Yeah, and if you make it too detailed, and then Mark goes along and goes, well, I've put this here, you go, well, shit. That doesn't fit into my plan. Can Mark, can you take that back so it doesn't fit my plan, please?
And it's like, no pay.
Yeah. Be flexible when you build your list. Build a core. Build what you want to have, your favourite units, or as freshly painted units. Absolutely. Every time I finish a unit, that's the first thing on my next battle. He is on the table. Whether he's good or bad, he's there. Yeah. It's usually bad, but that's not the point.
But just be thankful that you're not playing in 7th, and because what you'll find is that when you build a list and you're just starting out, you won't have all the units you need to deal with every kind of thing that you could face. So I remember one of my early games against Anto. I had no anti-tank weaponry. And in 7th, if you didn't have anti-tank weaponry, you couldn't kill tanks. You couldn't scratch the paint.
Yeah.
So I had an interesting time not killing half his army while I was blown completely off the table.
I had that Jakari, of course, when we were playing against Game on Steve's Death Guard, where you had demons and vehicles. I had poisoned weapons.
Yeah.
I killed one model the entire match.
Well, yeah, and like my Gene Stealer cult, you showed up and all my guys were in transports, and you had poison.
So as far as picking units that you need, it will become very apparent what you need.
Actually, that's a very good point. Michael's one, I went with, here I have lots of troops, I need to get that. And I went with poison weapons and stuff like that. And after your match, I changed my list to add more blast weapons, as in the blaster, not as in blast. So Beefy Cobby, as somebody building a narrative Grots Rebel list, I love it. You're winning so far.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm fully for cool armies that fit a neat thematic over an army that has no uniqueness, played by thousands of all with the same models. Hell yes.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But you need Gabbo in that.
You've got to get Makari.
I want a Gobbo army. But that's a lot of green. And as I said, I've got Catachan, I've got Salamanders, my first army Orcs. I don't want to see green ever again.
You're looking at like 120 little models.
Oh my god,
like,
but how cool would that be?
Well, hang on. You did paint a Gretchen gold. You could do that.
I did paint them all gold because they became, objective markers. Yes.
Wait, yeah, it's like I haven't finished painting all my knights because that's a lot of yellow.
Yeah, I don't think I could do a swarm army again.
How did you get as many painted of them as you did? Like,
I was just like, okay, I'm just going to
60
spray like a half dozen knights, and then I'm going to put the base colours on them, then I'm going to spray the next half dozen knights, put the base colours on them.
Beefy Cobby's 60 grot. Only 60? That's as many poxwalks they have. Come on!
to be fair, they sell them in packs of 3.
Oh, they got get them 10 now.
10 now.
10s now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it 10 or 20? Is it still 10? You get the...
I think it's 10.
I can't remember. They did fix that, which made me
But
go,
still,
ooh. But then I saw
still,
most of the vehicles are forgeable. Went,
60 Grot Guard, that's dedication. I salute you.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not dipping them.
Dip and drip. Dip and... what is it called? Yeah, whatever.
Not that many.
Beefy Cobby, if you've got an Instagram, I want to see them. I want to see your Grot army. Absolutely.
Like I had like.
I love it. He's going to run squigs as bikers and tower drones as copters.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Don't forget
You must share.
We
the
must
new models,
see this.
The new Squid Army models are coming out for 40k.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Snakebite for the win!
They've also said that yes, they're made for snakebites, but they can go into goths.
I heard snakebite. That's all I want. I've still got my ball boys over there in a corner.
Yeah, but they're good for goths as well. So I went, yeah,
goths. Goths are pussies.
It is nice to see the snake bites coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, but you've got Gaz, so Gaz is goth, so that's why they're going to start doing yes.
Yeah, but you can't have Gaz in a Grot army. I mean, come on.
Well, we've got Marikai in it.
Yeah, Beef
Gaz
Cobby,
can't
all about
Yeah,
but he's a Grot.
Please, if
Just
you got
a
something,
stand-in
please.
conversion for Gaz. It's like a dozen grots in a big costume.
I like it.
Yeah,
Weekend at
exactly.
Bernie's with grots.
Yeah. Just a bunch of grots with like this big marionette fucking orc.
I love it.
Well, I had all plans to get the stealth battle suit, the Space Marine stealth battle suit, and put a little grot head and make it a war boss
Nice.
in a
Here
mega
we
armor.
go. Grot
we
riding.
do have an Instagram link.
Is that a mech squig?
That is awesome.
That is all. That's fantastic.
Oh, Now, I'm not set up to share this on the stream with our podcast here, but I will link it and everyone else can see it. I will definitely. That is awesome. I'm sorry we're not set up. We don't normally share. We haven't shared before other people's, but that I'm very excited to see. That is awesome. Sorry, Beefy. I'm now following you. I apologise.
I'm following you too.
Yeah.
Grot boss on a cyber squig.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool.
But you look further down. Oh my god, yes! Yes! That's so cool, I can't wait. So everyone who's watching, it's exciting, you should see it.
For those listening at home, everybody sat down and
for all the
watched some
podcasters who don't
Instagram.
get to see it, I could describe it. Closed caption description. Michael's best.
For those watching in colour, it's a yellow.
In solidarity with the listeners, I don't have Instagram, so I can't see it either.
You can still click it, you will still see it. It'll go.
It comes up saying sign in, and won't let me see it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Take the hint.
Oh, well. I don't know how I'm getting free Instagram then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that bothered
They
by
know
it.
about you. They know about you.
I get a lot of inspiration off Instagram. So.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what Instagram is. That's why we love sharing other people's hobbies. So, yes, anyone who's watching, particularly now, or anyone watching my streams I do on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, I always encourage you to share the work you're doing because the inspiration that we get from that is huge, right? So, yeah, it is awesome.
Just spare me the Eldar Guardians dipped into Citadel paints and then just left to dry. I've seen enough of that.
Beefy, thank you for the follow. Do appreciate that. We all appreciate it, don't we, fellas?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Apparently Adam doesn't appreciate it, but yeah.
Well, I do. I'm just thinking of Gronami. Screw the demons. They can take on a knight. I proved that day we did the Apox a couple of years back.
You just need enough of them.
Yeah.
We do have a Discord. We're not quite ready to make it live yet. Sorry, Beefy. We're just working on that. It will be coming. Do not panic. It will be coming. This is our private one at the moment. We do have a public one being built. Not being built. Just making sure we've got things in place that doesn't let Mark do things he wants to do. But those details will come. Yeah. You're welcome, Mark. All right, we should wrap this up. This has been a long episode. It's been over 2 hours, which is usually we go for about an hour and a half at most. It's been a long episode for us, but it's been a fun episode. I think I got to admit I was a bit dubious about how far we would go with it. Well done, Michael.
We got a little distracted.
Thank you, chat.
I
Thank
never
you,
get
chat,
distracted.
for your,
My wine's
for your
empty.
added length.
We saw the raid come in. We got some explaining to
Beefy,
do.
that'll actually look awesome. I'm
that's
looking
nice.
forward to seeing that.
Going to be converting a knight at some point. That'll be funny to run a looted knight as a Gork model. So you're going to do a Gork and Mork Thor, but with a knight. Oh, I must see this!
I've got a half painted.
Oh, I'm very excited. Beefy, we've got to close this episode off because I've got to go be alone. But
Did you say that out loud?
no.
Inner monologue.
I'm very excited to see that. Look, so we will wrap it up. I think Mark summed it up well because he's going to repeat it now because I like putting him on the spot on what we think about building lists.
We think you should not overplan them or underplan them.
Have fun.
Wow, that was great. Thanks.
The
Thanks,
porridge
Sensei.
needs to be just right.
Yeah.
The Goldilocks zone there.
Goldilocks zone. Alright, so I think we said build a list that you're going to enjoy. That's the biggest part of it. Build a list that you're going to enjoy.
and become familiar with it rather than trying to make plans that you will forget.
Yeah, and if you play that list and it fails, it doesn't mean that's a bad list. It could be a bad dice roll. It could be an opposition that, if you're beginning, they might be a better general than you at that point. But as you learn your list, you will be you will be getting better.
You will be get the wine.
Let's frickin' hydrate.
You could drink water. You know.
Whew, I didn't have it near me. That was the problem.
I love how he's got his dad voice for that too.
My dad voice? I have a dad voice?
No, Anto.
Go on, Greg.
Sorry, Dad. I've never said that, but anyway. So yeah, build a list you're going to enjoy. Apparently, I'm the only one who builds a list compared to who I'm playing against. I do find that really surprising.
No, for me, the list which I played Anto on Sunday will be the next time I play with you. Well, I'll have the same list.
Yeah,
one or two models, but it won't be a big change.
It's just like a conscious decision to try and get better at building all comers lists and resist the temptation to list tailor.
Interesting. As I said, I find that surprising. I have my core list, right? I just want to point this out. I have my core list. But with the Drakari, for example, my core list is exactly every model I own. And then I went, demons. I don't need a blaster. I'll drop that to a splinter rifle. And it was just that. It wasn't, I need to have this. Or for my Imperial Guard, instead of having a Lehman Russ, to be a Punisher. But my core would still be the same. It would still be the umpteenth tanks on the field.
Yeah, it's not like the totally criminal, I have multiple completely different lists.
No, it's the core, but if I'm playing against Marines, I know I need AP. So Lehman Russ would be better than a Punisher. Mind you, 20 shots twice. It's still going to hurt someone.
My Terminators hated that.
I know. You're welcome. So, yeah, that's where I go. That's my list building. It's not to the umpteenth millimeter. If it's Ultramarines, doesn't matter what I take. They're going to lose. So... You can feel a lot of Ultramarine love in this channel. You're welcome.
Says the person wearing blue.
I'm okay.
He turns around and there's an Ultramarine symbol on the back.
There's an Ultramarine toy up there. Does that count?
Yes.
Yeah. It's because the Blood Angels one's not out yet. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Greg, spray it.
Alright, let's go. We have been here for a long time, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined in with this chat. It was really good. We were starting to wrap it up, but you brought out some really good conversations and good questions, so it was really good. Hams. We like hams. Another gifted sub. And another dancing Chaos Warrior.
There he is again.
We love the dancing Chaos Warrior. If they were doing that, they wouldn't have lost the war. So, you want to beat me? Come on. Adam, did you enjoy your third episode?
Is it third? Yes, I have. It's been fun.
We can't get rid of you now, apparently. Great!
Yes, you can. You just don't invite me.
Hey guys, the next episode's on this. Don't tell Adam.
I'll just spam Twitch.
Excellent. All right, so we'll do our wrap up. Look, Hams, I gotta say thank you so much for your gifts going out. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. It does help us do this. It does help us put some more content out and improve our content. So thank you so much. And yes, we will make sure that Mark no longer buys any more Ultramarines. Alright, so you can find us on our social sites And you can find us on our YouTube site. Mark's going to tell us where that is.
Real Loud Gamers.
RLG Real Loud Gamers. You're correct. Well done. And of course,
which hopefully in the next week
Michael,
or so there'll be a battle report up.
Yeah, a new battle report is coming up, which is fantastic. We're going to try and get more battle reports up. We have a plan to get more stuff up, and from May I should have more battle reports. I'm aiming for once a week battle report on Sundays through the RLG group. We've had a few people doing hands up, which is good. So you should be able to see that. If it's not on the YouTube, you should see it on our Twitch channel here, which is awesome. So Michael, what's our Instagram?
Well, that would be RLG40K.
Well done. You've been reading it. Adam, what's our Facebook?
Facebook, RLG40K. It's right there on the bottom of the Twitch stream.
And Anthony, what's our Twitter?
I have no idea. Red Belly Black. No.
I believe it's at RLG Oz Gaming.
It is.
RLG Real Loud Gamers.
Yeah, RLG Oz Gaming. We will try to make sure we do some more content. We've been a bit slack in the last couple of weeks. We do apologise for that. We've just had a lot of life distractions on that one. But we will endure. Thank you, Hams. I hope you enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed your company. We enjoyed everyone's company, so thank you very much for everyone to joining in. So for me, no. Michael, would you like to say anything about your social? You don't have any social stuff. Okay. Adam.
Yes.
Any social stuff you like to talk about? You
I
now have an Instagram account.
I do. Yes, I do. It's pretty empty at the moment, but it's Pronto40K.
Anthony, you have an Instagram account.
I do. It's Bulldust 40K. Oh, there's a theme here.
And I also have an Instagram account, and believe it or not, it's Red Belly. What is it? I've forgotten my own Instagram account.
It's Red Belly.
It's Red Belly Black, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Red Belly Black.
Yeah.
Red Belly Black.
All
You
one
can
word.
find that. All one word. And I'm also here on this channel on every Tuesday, Thursday night hobbying. We are trying to finish off the Drakari in the next couple of weeks, which is pretty close. Pretty close. So close. So close. You know what stuffed me up? Canopies. Pain in the freaking canopies. It's not looking good. I hate it. But that's not the point.
That's why I paid the whole canopy.
Oh, see, I don't like the canopy.
That looks alright.
Fine. I like the shimmery paints.
I love the shimmery
I
paint.
do love that freaking shimmer paint. It's
How
so cool.
good is that shimmery paint?
I looked
Just get
for
some
that.
chrome paint for the canopy.
I looked
Yeah,
for that
that'd
on
work
Sunday.
really
I
well.
couldn't find
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I love this paint. It's awesome. So, Tuesday, Thursdays from 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time now, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. And also Monday nights, I'm also here, and Sunday nights will start coming back as well. It could be board games, could be 40k games. Who knows? It will be wild. What else we got? Oh, this week, what have we got going on, Michael?
Oh, we're playing. We got the monthly meet coming up, don't we?
we've had the
that was
monthly-
No, that was last
we
week.
got Apocalypse Now-ish coming up.
Yes.
38
Yeah.
episodes are so professional.
It's because this. I just can't day of the week lately.
So
eh?
yes,
Crazy.
we do have Apocalypse Nowish event. So we will be playing a multiplayer Apocalypse game. We will be getting footage for that. I have yet to talk to our host to see if we can stream it, but hopefully we can. Otherwise, it will be a YouTube event. It will be a lot of photos. Stay tuned for that one.
I'm yet to decide if I'm going to bring that Reaver or some Warhounds.
I'm still planning on bringing 2 stompers.
That's it. That's your whole army. It's fantastic.
Whole army.
All right. So
I
want
may
to
bring the 3rd one just for another army.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. I want to say big thank you for the raid from the Honest Gamer. Thank you. Beefy, Snitbag, Hams. Oh my God, we like you. You can come back anytime. Everyone else who enjoyed the conversations. Game on Steve, thank you for not giving me grief about my loss on the weekend. And Anthony, thank you for not giving Adam his grief about his loss.
I'm still crying.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank you. Next month, I think the topic is all those weird rules that make no sense. Is that what we're working on?
I think that was the plan. Weird little rules.
Weird little rules like, as for example, the Death Guard has I will turn a objective marker into a Nurgled one. But can somebody turn it not to a Nurgled one?
That was a good question on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I think if you turned it into a Nurgle one, the person taking it took mortal wounds. Like if you tried to cleanse it.
But there's no rule for that. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the thing. Is those little rules. It's like, yeah, you can do this. Yeah, but what if I walk over and go, that's mine? What happens then?
It is his then.
Intriguing, yes. Stay tuned. That is next month. Thank you very much for joining us. Michael, please get us... Oh, sorry. Want to say bye, Adam?
Bye.
Want to say bye, Mark?
Bye.
Want to say bye, Anthony?
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I'll say bye as well. Bye. Thanks for the hydrate. Michael, want to say bye and sign us out?
Bye, everybody. I love it when a plan comes together, but no plan survives contact with the enemy. So which is it? Do you fail to plan, or do you plan to fail? Join us next month for more wobbly player syndrome, and stay hydrated!